Well, hey friends, it's Andrea.
And I'm Pete.
And we are Happy Timeshare Travel.
And we are actually in a timeshare.
We are. We're up here in Park City right now. This is week 2 of enjoying fall in beautiful Park City.
It's stunning.
It is stunning.
But so, Andrea, why don't you tell us why we got started with this channel and how we got started with our timeshares?
Okay, well, it all started with my mom, who could not say no to a timeshare presentation. Yeah, you're kind of bad about it too, actually. We've sat through timeshare presentations and Pete always wants to say yes and I always said no. So what happened though was my mom ended up with 4 different weeks, right, because she loved to buy into timeshares and her favorite place was Branson, Missouri. And so 2 of the weeks are there. And then she actually bought 2 weeks up in Breckenridge, which
is my favorite place.
Which is Pete's favorite place. And so
maybe Park City is a close second.
Oh my gosh, this is fabulous up here. Like
gorgeous.
You need to come up here. And we're going to do a couple videos on these particular resorts because both have some fantastic things.
They do. And so Andrea's mom did us a great, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Andrea's mom did us a great, because she wanted family. I mean, I think a lot of us we want to bring our family with us.
We do. We want family vacations. And that's really what she was thinking about when she purchased these. And we spent many happy family vacations between Breckenridge and Branson.
Wonderful. And big memories.
Yeah, big memories. But what happened was she ended up where she simply, really after COVID, we did Branson one last time in 2021, and she simply cannot travel anymore. And so we thought we would start paying for them and kind of get her out from underneath that bill, because this is what happens, and this is why people are disgruntled timeshare owners, correct?
Yes, and my parents, I mean, they had to go to a lawyer to get out of their timeshares because they were paying for something they weren't getting use out of.
Exactly. So when we took over the payments, I was darned and determined that I was going to figure out how to trade these things, because we always hear about it in the presentations, right?
You do, about how great a deal, and you can go to Hawaii, and you can go to Aruba, and you can go wherever.
Exactly. And
we couldn't figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out. It took me a good, week and a half of truly, I tried to find podcasts. I tried to find YouTube channels. I did find a great forum online, which is called the Timeshare Users Group. And I'm going to plug it because it really was instrumental in trying to help me figure out how to trade these.
And it is a neat community where you can pose questions, and we hope you pose questions to us, and we'll get down and get answers back to you. But it's kind of this community of people who want to get the maximum use out of their timeshares. And there's a lot of knowledge out there in the community.
There absolutely is. And so on this journey of figuring out how to use the timeshares, I've actually become quite good at it.
Andrea has. And I'd like to say I tried initially to be the one that was figuring it out, and I couldn't do it.
I don't know. They should not make it so difficult. It is difficult to figure out, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
You paid a lot of money for this product, and kind of shame on them for making it so hard. Mm-hmm. But if you will take the time to learn it, you won't believe how simple it is once you learn it.
Yes, so, and Andrea's done an amazing step-by-step video.
Oh, thank you.
That we will link to, and please look at that, because really, it's been a life changer. Really.
Well, it has, because now we're happy timeshare owners.
Yes, we might even buy another one. We don't know.
We don't know. We're thinking about it. But
we're maximizing the use, which makes you not happy to pay your maintenance fees, but you don't begrudge it anymore because you're getting use out of the product.
We are getting what I would call outsized value. And
yes.
What I mean by outsized value is we own, from my mom, we own a week in Branson, Missouri, which is actually a silver season, which is the worst season that you can have, right? Like you pay the same maintenance fees on a platinum season as you do on a silver season, but the silver season simply does not trade as well.
But it was probably cheaper initially for her to get in, which we'll get into some of the pitfalls later.
Yes, so it was initially easier for her to get into it, and she was able to get us weeks in summer together so that we could all travel
Which was nice when we had littles.
We probably traveled with 8 at a time in different units and close together, and we're able to spend a week together and do what my mom loved the most.
Which is very nice, and something you really can't do in hotels.
No, you would have to go the Airbnb or the VRBO route. So what I started to say was this week that she has in Branson, that's the silver season, is what's called a lock-off, which means I can take that unit, I can divide it in half. There is a fee, I pay that to Marriott, but then I can add a studio as well as a 1-bedroom into Interval International. And then there are tricks that you can use to upgrade your studio or your 1-bedroom into a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom and really get this outsized value, because my maintenance fees on that, it's an every other year, it's $806 per year. And then I divide it into 2 vacations. So if you think about that, I am getting a week a year for $806. You add in a couple extra fees and it ends up being around $1,000 for a full week. And it's in places like we've traded this year into Costa Rica. We're going to be going to Costa Rica in a couple months. We're going to Hawaii in 3 weeks. We're going to Aruba over the summer. I am taking my kids to Myrtle Beach over spring break. Not Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head over spring break.
I was like, ooh, Myrtle Beach.
I know. Well, that's what I always look at. So, for us, we haven't been to Hilton Head. We haven't been to Myrtle Beach. We haven't been to any of these locations that are really popular. We did Orlando in January of last year because we went to pickleball camp, and that was fantastic. That was called Lakeshore Reserve, and that particular property, you can take advantage of all the JW Marriott and Ritz-Carlton services, nice. And we had a fantastic,
wonderful time
there, and we took a kayak trip where we actually floated by a couple of alligators.
Yes, very exciting.
It was, wasn't it? It was fun.
Yeah, it was
really
neat.
Fun.
But just because I don't really still understand it, so we had a 1-bedroom with a room attached, which is usually called the studio or...
Yes, so basically what it is they call it a 2-bedroom. One is a true 1-bedroom, which is what we're in right now. You can see we have a full kitchen behind us. This door over here that you see is the bedroom. And then off to this side that you can't see, there's another door, and that leads into what's called a studio. And there are some studio videos that I've made, like one of the Lakeshore Reserve, which is where we were when we were in Florida. We stayed in the 1-bedroom side, but there's also a studio side. And the studio side, basically, I liken it to an RV.
About the same size.
About the same size. It's
and
like
similar
long
living.
and narrow, similar living, but except you don't have to, hook up to water. You don't have to empty things that you maybe don't want to empty. But it has a limited kitchen, usually just a smaller size fridge.
No oven.
No oven. Almost always no oven. They have what's called a microwave convection oven, so you can do oven capabilities, but there's no burners. Some have burners. You just have to really look. It's hit or miss on whether or not you have a burner. But so basically what you do is you pay a fee, unfortunately, to what's called lock it off, which means that I can take this 1-bedroom like we're staying in now, and I can take the studio and I can put them separately into Interval, and then each one gets to be traded.
Right. So instead of 1 unit, you get to trade 2 units.
2 units, right.
Which really, especially when you learn the tricks.
And you take the time.
And you take the time. It's a lot of time.
If you want a really easy vacation, then you buy a timeshare where you want to go every year. And you maybe have to bid on a week within your season. So maybe it's ski season up in Breckenridge and you want to bid on your week. So maybe instead of getting the kids' spring break, you're getting President's Day weekend or Martin Luther King weekend, or one of those weeks. You're going to bid on that, and it's going to vary from year to year. But there are some that you can buy that you can return to every single year on your week. that would be called a fixed week. And, for a lot of people, that's what they want to do.
Right.
Maybe you want to go to the beach in Hilton Head every year, and you want to take your family.
Yeah, and you want to play golf.
And you can do that.
And that's easy.
And that's easy.
Very straightforward.
And maybe you're like we are, and Branson, it's fun. It really is fun. It's got Silver Dollar City. It's got the shows. We went down. What is the Bass Pro Shops guys place?
Oh, yeah, up by the lake.
By the lake.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's got a really great,
golf,
that's really fun. It's got golf,
cabins,
beautiful restaurants out on the lake.
Boats
We've done
to
that.
rent. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. We really enjoyed that. But sometimes after you've done a place several times, you want to trade.
Right.
And when you learn how to do it, that's when you become
Happy Timeshare Travelers.
Happy Timeshare Travelers. So we hope you'll go on this journey with us. What we're hoping to do is we would like to retire to timeshares 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And I want to chase the 70s.
And I'd like to
70-degree weather, not 70 the decades when we were born.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
We're running away from the 70s
Rapidly. Yeah. Oh, faster than we wanted to anyway. But yeah, we are hoping down the line when Pete can actually retire from his job that we can spend about 6 months out of the year in a timeshare in 70-degree weather.
At a reasonable cost.
At an amazing
Almost
cost.
Yes.
We're thinking we can do it for we could easily do it for about $4,500. We maybe like to spend a little bit more than that. We're trying to work on the budgeting right now, just in order to be able to stay in these one bedrooms as opposed to the studios. I don't mind a studio, but by the end of the week, it does get a little bit long. If you can find a studio with maybe a balcony, that actually helps a little bit to get a little bit of separation, a little bit of space. Again, I think of it like the RV. We've rented RVs several times, and what makes the RV live a little bit bigger is when you have the outdoor space and a balcony helps that. Here in Park City, neither of the properties we stayed at, both Marriott's, had a balcony, and we own up at Peak 7 in Breckenridge as well as Grand Timber in Breckenridge, and neither of those have balconies with their studios.
Right,
not with the studios.
You're right.
And we stayed at the Grand Colorado on Peak 8 in Breckenridge, and that didn't have a balcony either. So you kind of have to do your research. If you're staying in a studio, we stayed in that studio at Grand Colorado during ski season, and so you weren't in the room. I was. It was the snowiest week I think we've had on record. And as I just told you, I would like to chase the 70s. I really like a good 77-degree day.
But Andrea still looks for ski weeks for me, which is amazing and awesome.
Well, I do, because Pete will forever be happiest on skis, and so we'll definitely be mixing a lot of that in there. But
that's the beauty. You didn't buy a ski house or you didn't buy a beach house. You get both. You get a golf house. You get all this mix of wonderful vacations, and you can be in snow one week and 70s the next week. And we're going to try it.
And we are going to try it all. We're going to try every timeshare that we like, because gosh, once you learn how to do it, and once you learn, we are staying up here in Park City on off season, when you can travel on off season, when you're not tied to that school schedule anymore, and you really have a lot of freedom. That's when this really opens up. And again, it's not that timeshares aren't right for people who have to travel during the school season. It just means that you really have to spend the money up front to purchase something in the school season.
And something that's really high trade value.
If you want to do different things. If you want to do something in Hawaii, you really need to have something that is like a ski week.
Yes.
Because they're both such high demand trips. So that's kind of our plan as we move forward, is we are going to just continue to enjoy as many timeshares as we can. We're currently traveling.
And bring them to you.
We're currently traveling about once every 4 to 6 weeks, and staying in these timeshares, having a blast, inviting friends to come stay with us, taking advantage of all the hiking, biking, skiing. We're going to go fly fishing later today. Hot tubs, we grill out. We enjoy everything about it. And so if you want to kind of learn how to love your timeshare
and maximize it,
and maximize, like I talked about, getting that outsized value, taking something like Branson, Missouri, and getting a week in the summer in Aruba.
How crazy is that?
I mean, I know. It works. It does work.
It takes some work on your part.
But it does take some work on your part. And the one last thing that I would like to say is people are probably looking at us going, okay, well, you inherited those. And so you did not share in that
that's a good point.
Huge upfront cost.
Yes.
And that is absolutely true. I would advise you that to love your timeshare, do not go on vacation and buy a vacation.
Do not.
That was my mom. She would go to the timeshare presentation and would fall in love and would spend that huge upfront cost. You don't have to do that. You do your research and you can buy it on the secondary market. I talked before about the timeshare users group. Go in there. A lot of people are giving them away. They are giving them for a very low cost.
$1.
Yes, they can teach you how to use them if you're buying them from them or you're inheriting from them. Getting it for free.
Sure.
Not inheriting, but getting it for free.
Taking over their payments.
Get on a Zoom call with them and have them teach you how to use it.
Yes.
They really should. You also have eBay, and then there's you can buy them on eBay.
Really?
Yeah, you can. And a lot of people are very successful bidders on eBay. Again, I'm not savvy, and I wouldn't have been savvy enough to buy it on eBay in the beginning. These are people who have purchased maybe developer, which is like my mom did, go in on vacation and buy a vacation. And they really are, after years of use, they're savvy enough to know what a good deal is, where they want to be, what is a good trader. And so they will buy them on eBay. There's another site called Red Week, and Red Week they will verify these properties for you. They kind of vet them for you. They tend to be a little bit higher cost because there's a built-in commission there. But those are 3 great places to start looking for really inexpensive timeshares.
And you could compare to what the timeshare place is offering you, say at $30,000. You can go on Red Week and go, well, somebody's selling theirs for $1,000. I mean, it is shocking.
It really is shocking. And that's
out there.
I think that's what, again, contributes to the bad rap of a timeshare.
I would say
is you put in $30,000 and you're not going to get it out. The only way to get it out is to take the vacations and to learn how to use the system. But they make it sound like, and this is like deeded property, so you can sell it, and you can
pass it on to your kids.
And then originally we were like, don't pass it on to your kids.
Right. We don't want it.
We don't want it. This is a terrible deal. Don't stick us with a bill for the rest of our lives. But now we're like,
2 weeks in Park City, we're like, it's not too bad. Thank you, Joan.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. So that's why we became the Happy Timeshare Travel channel. And we hope that you will like and subscribe.
Yes,
we hope that you will tune in as we try to give you tours of the room, tours of the resorts, ideas for what you can do when you get to the destination.
Pro tips on what to bring.
Yeah, what to bring, what to leave at home.
Right.
And so anyway, thanks so much for joining us.
And going on this journey with us.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right.